Let's read a short story. Long ago, a beautiful princess had all beautiful, expensive dresses. She bragged about them all the time. The other maidens got so tired of hearing about them that they stopped being friends with her. Question: what stays with you after reading the story? My name is Teacher Mark Alegre. Welcome again to another English language arts lesson. Today we are going to talk about theme. We will cover three things. First, the definition of theme. Second, the types of themes. And lastly, ways to infer themes. Let's begin. Theme is basically a life lesson, a meaning, moral, or message about life or human nature that is communicated by a literary work. In other words, theme is what the story teaches readers. It's also important to note that themes are universal, meaning anyone can relate to them. Sometimes we get confused with the words that you are seeing right now, right? Let's try to analyze each item. Theme is a lesson or a message to take out of the story, just like what I've mentioned earlier. Themes are written in complete sentences. On the other hand, main idea is what the story is about. A story can be about freedom, about love, about life, and etc. Lastly, summary is the events of the story, the plot of the story. Let's differentiate theme versus moral. Again, theme can be a lesson, but it doesn't have to be. Moral, on the other hand, is a very specific lesson. Let's continue. A theme is not a word, it is a sentence. Always remember that. Also, you don't have to agree with the theme to identify it. Examples: money can't buy happiness. So, as you can see, it's written in complete sentence. You have the subject and the verb. And you don't need to agree that money can't buy happiness, right? Another example is you don't judge people based on the surface. It is better to die free than live under tyranny. Also, themes are implied. Themes are bigger than the story. Always remember that when you read a particular story, you need to apply it to real life situations. Themes are about the big picture. We have some examples here. Starbucks coffee tastes bad. James and Joe are bad friends. These are not examples of themes. Always remember that. You need to think bigger when you are trying to identify the theme of a story. You need to find a real world piece of advice. Example: money can't buy happiness. You don't judge people based on the surface, and etc. Let's talk about the types of themes. We only have two types of themes. We have stated, and the other one is implied. Stated means expressed directly within a text. Implied means suggested by the author by story details and are not directly expressed. It is important to note that there is no single correct theme for a work. You must infer or make educated guesses about themes based on story clues. There are four ways on how we can infer a theme. Number one, you need to identify the main conflict of the story and its outcome. Therefore, we need to focus on the rising action to climax of the story. Second, we need to examine the characters' responses to conflicts and identify any lessons learned. Third, we need to look for repeated ideas expressed by story characters. And lastly, we need to analyze the story's title to see if it hints or reveals an important aspect of the story. Again, let's repeat it. Number one, you need to identify the main conflict. Number two, examine the responses of the characters, and identify any lessons learned from the conflict. Number three, look for repeated ideas. Number four, analyze the story's title. That's it, and I hope you've learned something from our lesson today. See you!